What? We getting the truth?
The truth.
The
Nothing
truth.
but the truth.
Okay.
So help me, Beyonce.
Okay.
Hold on, let me put this Gmail up real quick.
Okay. We about to record.
We about to start? You finna start the music? Let me pull up the...
Oh, no, that's all. I do all my edits afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is the Darren Green Show. What up? I'm your host, Darren Green, and this is the Darren Green Show, here to give you another stellar podcast. If this is the first time you're hearing my voice, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, or wherever else you get a podcast. Okay? And as always, follow me at TDGS Official on Twitter and Instagram. All of this information is in the description from wherever you are listening to this podcast. Well, listeners, this episode marks a new era of TDGS. As the search of the co-host is finally over, I'd like to present rising entertainment maven and community advocate, Prince Derek Dahl. Hey.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me, Darren.
So I wanted to try to get a little background on you and how we met and where you're from and everything. So I guess how we met.
So Darren and I met on a photo shoot that was produced by Maxine Antoine, who was doing an All Love is Real Love photo series that she wanted to drop in, I think it was for June, which was LGBTQ Awareness Month. And we did this crazy shot. All the shots were inspired by anime. And I think mine, I had to like hold a coffee mug and like, it was a very serious, semi-sensual shot, but it was good. And then we found out that your name was Black Kendall on Instagram. And that was my nickname in high school. So I just found it, it was very interesting. And we had a great conversation. And
we talked afterwards on social media and stuff. And we kind of had a good connection. That's why I noticed. I was like, it was always a thought, like, why don't I ask him to be on the show? You get what I'm saying? So more questions. Where you from?
I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. Born and raised there. I graduated from Grambling State University. Shout out to the G-Men. And I've been in Jersey now since 2013.
Oh, so you've been here for a minute.
I've been here for a while.
How you like Jersey?
I love Jersey. I didn't plan on loving Jersey. But it just happened. It was an organic relationship, and Jersey loves me, and I love Jersey, and that's that.
That is what's up. Do you plan on living anywhere else in the future?
I've had a very interesting ride, being able to speak things into my life. So I don't want to say no. I'm going to be very present in the moment, and if there are other opportunities that require me to move elsewhere, then I'm going to move as God tells me to move.
Okay.
But at the moment, I don't have any plans on leaving or anything like that, because I feel like I still have a lot of work to do here, and I'm going to do that until I can't do it anymore. So
what forms of entertainment do you get into?
Well, I'm a musician, first and foremost. I moved to the East Coast as a singer-songwriter in 2012. And I also host events. I host like open mics and like comedy shows and things like that. But I've worked in television. I've worked in radio. Oh, yes. Done film.
We've talked about this, yeah.
I model. So anything visual or performing arts is kind of like my thing.
That's good. Well, where can they find you on social media? I know I forgot to insert that in the intro.
It's fine. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Derek Dahl. You can find me on Snapchat at the Derek Dahl. Facebook, Prince Derek Dahl.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I think that's about it for the social, right? That should be that.
That should be it. Yeah.
Not that major. I'm boring, y'all.
No. Now, one other thing that I wanted to talk about too is, and I said this last episode, I was very apprehensive of asking, you to be a co-host, and that's kind of a learning lesson into my listeners that are listening. Like, don't be scared to ask for help. The worst thing they say is no, but ask the next person. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, don't be scared.
And It's been a minute since I had a co-host. Like when I first had my podcast, when it was the green room, and I was trying to make it off the shade room or whatever. Yeah, I had to change it soon. But like, I had co-hosts there, but I ended up leaving college and going to another one where I'm just in a place where, trying to look for other co-hosts that is in the area, that is interested in what I'm interested in. And it seems like we kind of have a connection you'll see later in the show.
Absolutely.
Great
banter.
Yes. So let's talk about our weekends.
Yeah, tell me about yours.
Oh, that. Okay, mine. Now I'm the boring one. I was not doing nothing but work and in my dorm. Like, for real. What did I do? I mean, these classes, I'm working 2 jobs.
Yes, coin.
No.
It's like, no, it's just work.
Like, I just got out of a job today, a 9 to 12, and then I work at the bookstore here, and I also work as a desk assistant at one of my dorm rooms.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot, but I do a lot of my desk job at my dorm room. It's a lot of downtime, so I work on the show, work on homework and stuff like that. But yeah, for the most part, trying to do things, around here. I'm kind of new to this area, and I don't really know too many people, and people here just work with you for projects.
You got to expand your friend circle, Darren. You got to get out of here to go meet.
I did have a circle, people. And they ended up leaving.
They left?
They left. They either dropped out or...
Yep. You know what that means? There's a whole new crop of people that you can start plucking from.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and enjoy it. You're a junior, sophomore?
Junior.
Junior? Oh, absolutely. This is the time to start building your friend groups, because these are people you're going to be keeping in contact for the next
and I have,
10 years.
I will say I kept an associate group. But
right, associate group. Yeah, you're right, because friend, that word today means something totally different than it did when we were kids. So.
Because I met with people that talked to me one semester, child. I'll be saying, hey, oh, okay.
Right. Well, it sounds like fun. My weekend is usually the same. I work on, I think I just popped something. Sorry, guys.
I'll edit this out.
But no, I got it.
Okay, you got it.
I fixed it.
Wow, we're already at 7 minutes.
No? Yes?
Technical difficulties.
Right. So I'm mic'd up. I'm actually shooting a show right now. I said I was boring, but life is doing its own thing.
Yeah. Got a whole production team. Like, hey.
Listen, this is the year of elevation. We're doing different things this year.
Okay. That's what it's all about.
I don't know what the other dolls are doing.
You said I don't know what the other dolls are doing.
I don't know what the other dolls are doing, but this one's working.
Okay.
All right, there we go. We good? I'm very comfortable. Thank you, Steve.
We are really good.
Shout out to Pangea Life Entertainment.
So speaking of doing big things, you were at the VMA Awards.
You ain't let me finish talking about my weekend.
Oh, you wasn't finished. Okay,
I ain't even say nothing about my weekend. We just talked about you and your dorm room life.
Oh.
And you need to come out.
I forgot. Okay. My bad.
No. Okay, well, my weekend was kind of boring too, though, because I work on weekends. My days off are Sunday and Monday, which are usually like days where I get to sleep and wash clothes and sleep. But this weekend, my job, we took our clients to Six Flags. It was yesterday. And everything was just kind of crazy. Usually during the 21st and 24th of the month is when I go through my man time. And I had so many things that were planned.
Yep.
And everything just went awry yesterday. I literally, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I had a whole shit show of a day.
Yes, I seen your Insta story.
It was a lot going on. Got this ugly ass furniture. I've been waiting for over a month and a half to get my furniture. I just wanted my bed. I got there late, and I just got this ugly ass church looking furniture. So my housewarming is canceled. Nobody can come to my house anymore.
Oh, really?
I'm over it. Y'all not taking pictures of that shit. Absolutely not.
You just like my best friend. She got a new apartment, and she's like, oh, I can't have nobody over. We ain't got no furniture.
You're sitting on the floor.
I'm like, girl, as long as I've been knowing you. It's...
Right. But other than that, it was a great weekend. I enjoyed Six Flags yesterday. I needed that to pick me up.
They started that Fright Fest, didn't they?
They did. And, yeah.
Was it good?
It was all right. I just don't do the clown thing.
What's wrong with the clown?
You know, I've always had an aversion to clowns. And then I remember, maybe it was like, actually, it was when I was in L.A. in 2010. Me and my best friend went to Knott's Berry Farm, and she knew I was afraid of clowns. She actually got a gang of them.
Oh, Lord.
And told them to attack me, like to chase after me. And I didn't even know what was going on. And like 4 or 5 clowns just started running after me. And I was like, y'all want me to go to jail because I'm going to start, you know. But I thought I worked my way through that. I thought I'd worked through my fear of clowns. I think there's a phobia. It's actually a name or something for it.
Could be.
Yeah. But I just don't like them. That's something about it I don't like them. But I actually am excited about going to see It 2 this week.
I did see it.
How was it?
Very repetitive.
Repetitive?
Repetitive from the first movie. I've seen a lot of jump scares that I've seen in the first movie, a lot of elements with the clown itself. It was a good storyline, and they had like the cast, you know, the kids grown up. They act real accurate to the kids in the first movie, which was good, but I wasn't that scared.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be terrified. I'm excited. Yeah. Like I plan on being absolutely terrified. Because it's that time of year where I can deal with it. I
mean, it had a lot of mixed reviews. I mean, I judge on movies like I'm a critic. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, it's just I don't know. When I go to a scary movie, I want to get scared, like jumping and all that other stuff. Because you know, when I watched the first one was scary.
It was.
Yes.
I think I watched that a little sauced. Yeah, I think I only go to movies now that have like a bar. So yeah, I was in there like, oh my God. Like, I grabbed onto the man next to me. It was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't mean to grab your husband. But I was scared.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, that was my weekend. It wasn't anything, you know, major. I just went to Six Flags and got some ugly ass furniture.
Oh.
But now as far as the VMAs are concerned.
Yes, the VMAs.
Oh my God. That was like.
I need you to talk about that because. All right, so I'm over here minding my own business, right, on Instagram, and I see you on the red carpet. I'm like, oh, okay. What happened? What was going on with that?
So I was selected to report for the New York Times. The VMAs were coming to Newark. And I remember a year ago I think I said it on Facebook, that was something I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the VMAs. And like I said earlier, you know, the universe has a crazy way of kind of like giving me what I asked for. Like I'm a strong believer in the law of attraction. And like 3 months after I said that, I found out that the VMAs were coming to Newark, which, you know, they've never been here before. And I was like, oh, how awesome is that? Like I'm here and they're coming here. Yeah. That means I ain't got to pay for a flight to LA or, you know, fight for tickets to New York. And then they hit me. I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do? How am I going to get there? Blah, blah, blah. But I ain't stressed about it. Yeah. And then I performed at Lincoln Park Music Festival in June, and I got a chance to talk to Tayshawn Glover, who was the publisher for the New York Times, and we were just having a conversation about all the things that were happening in Newark and how there's a need for young creatives to have certain experiences and for us to be able to take advantage of some of the opportunities that are happening here in our city. And, you know, it was just a random, you know, conversation that I usually have with any creative. And then I was in a training for my job in New Brunswick, and I got a text message him asking me about, you know, asked me for my email address, and I was like, what is this for? Is this for a surprise? He was like, yeah, it's for the VMAs. I'm trying to get press passes. I was like, oh, snap. You know, I almost fainted. But when the time came, I was excited. And I tried to be as prepared as possible. Okay, hold on. There's some. Is that my?
I've been hearing that for like 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Really?
Yeah.
I ain't hear it. It's been playing for 45 seconds. Y'all relax. 5 minutes.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my goodness.
That is so funny.
Jeez. See how people lie because it's free? But anyway, so, yeah, the time came, and, yeah, I just had to make sure that I was ready. I saw it as an opportunity for me to do what I love doing. And the goal was just for me to do interviews on the red carpet.
You met my girl, Sky.
I did. I met Sky years ago, though.
You did?
Sky and I worked on Black Ink Crew. I worked on the season premiere, what was it, like 2 seasons ago when they had the toga party? Yeah. And so it was really good seeing her again. I was surprised she actually remembered me, but she's always, still vibrant, funny. You saw the interview.
Yes, I seen it. She was like, with that microphone.
A whole key cackle. Like, she was not here for the other reporter at all, but. Right. But, I mean, it still was,
right.
It was her, her personality showed up. So I had a great time. I had an amazing.
You met Meg Thee Stallion in passing?
I did.
How was that?
It was cool. Like, it was so quick and so random. I had just left doing the press wall. Mm-hmm. Like, literally had just stepped off the red carpet. And I was trying to get to my spot because the goal was for me to get to my little spot so I could do my interviews. And as I was walking down, she was walking up to get on stage. And so I just said, welcome to Newark and congratulations. Kiss on the cheek, whatever. She kiss, and going about your business. You got a job to do. I got a job to do, and that was that. But it was an interesting moment, especially since I've been trying to get her to come to Newark. I had started a conversation with her management earlier this year, trying to get her for Newark Pride, and but she wasn't able to come because she was going to be rehearsing for tour. And I was like, okay, well, we got to figure out how to get her here. And as luck would have it, I'm telling you, like this year, this has been an enchanted year. Mm-hmm. So yeah, hopefully, it won't be the last time I get a chance to grace her presence. But she was really.
You got to let me know if she comes to Newark, because I'll be right there.
Oh, you'll know. Everybody will know. I remember the Twitter went off when she was seen practicing the night before, and she left and went and got Popeyes.
Now I want to say I seen somewhere that she was doing some kind of performance in what is it, Elizabeth?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
For what, at Barcode or?
Yeah, it was at some kind of bar or club or something over there.
When was that?
I seen this on Instagram. It was like a little post. It's like a little post that somebody made, an event post.
Oh, okay. Is it recent? Before or after the VMAs?
It was, I want to say like a week ago. It was after the VMAs though.
Oh, okay. Well, she's on her Legendary Nights tour, so
yeah,
she's gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, it could be where. Yeah.
So that was a nice little experience. My feet still hurt. Oh, shout out to my team too.
Yes.
Eric Jernigan, who's the genius behind the feathered coat that was seen around the world, and then Misha Wright, who did my face and got me landed on Essence top 25 beauty list.
Yeah, she was on a lot of publications, honey.
Number 8. I was number 8. I was the only male on that list. And for me to have scored that high, I was kind of very excited about that. And shout out to Kate Robin on the shoe game, my little gold boot. And Julian Rodriguez and DJ Grace, who were the videographers that day, they also were amazing. Like everything about that day felt like a dream, and I'm still kind of floating and waiting to see what we make of it. And so it was it was a nice little moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be my last little red carpet moment. Once we drop this music, we're gonna see what happens.
Yes, once you drop this music, okay.
Bam.
Tell us about it.
Ain't nothing to tell right now. You just have to wait. Keep your eyes on the prize. And when it drops, it'll drop. Right now, what you can do is you can go listen to Hookahs and Henny on SoundCloud. You can do that and enjoy that. We're doing a music video this year to one of my songs off of Gold Rush. And I haven't decided if it's going to be Rihanna Poppin' or It's All Right. But there will be a music video. That'll be shot next month. So
okay.
This year's is going to be...
You working out here. You out here.
I'm trying. 2020 has to be a very big year.
I'm trying too. Like, it's just, well, with the podcast, I finally have you as a co-host. You get what I'm saying? And just doing other stuff too. Just on a school basis, I'm trying to separate myself from that. It's just, I'm trying to do more internships.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Get all the experience you can.
Yeah.
And you can take it as far as you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm trying to get this internship at WNYC because I was there like a couple months ago for a tour around the radio station. It's a really nice one.
Is it?
Yes. And they have a lot of radio hosts there, and it's hands-on, which I was kind of afraid of with these New York internships. Go out, get the coffee, go out and do marketing, do this. I'm like, I want to be working with the producers.
You were afraid of the hands-on? Or you?
No, I'm not afraid of the hands-on. I was afraid of them being like, oh, well, this internship is for the marketing program or for sales or the other stuff. You get what I'm saying? This one, WNYC, is more, you know, you tell them what podcast or radio show that you want to work with, and then if they hire you, they'll hire you, and then you work with that. Like, for example, you ever heard of Radio Lab?
Maybe in passing.
It's a real big podcast that they have there, and
I don't.
Never heard of Radio Lab. You should
Maybe
listen to it because it's.
There's so many podcasts. It's like when people talk about TV shows, and I'd be like, "What, girl? I don't have no TV. I don't have time for TV. Like, I am TV. Like, I don't have.
Oh, right.
I don't have.
You don't have time.
No, like I literally just started listening to, him.
Okay, yeah.
That's a podcast I listen to now, and the New Vernacular.
It is. I only listen to a couple podcasts.
Yeah,
like the B. Scott Show and a little bit of Hollywood Unlocked, just a little bit.
Shout out to Jason Lee.
You
met
know
him too. He was funny. He was
you
funny on the red carpet. Yeah, he's a key cackle as well. But yeah, like whatever your internship does, like whatever you get, that's one thing I learned. You get the chance to take control of what you learn on the internship.
Yeah.
If you open your mouth and say, I would like to learn this, they take notice of that. If they're a good host, if they're a good intern host, they will pay attention to what it is that you want to learn, and they will make sure that you get the experiences that you're.
And I learned that with this internship this summer. I did ask. I opened my mouth a lot and was like, hey, I want to learn how to use the mixer. I want to get in the studio and start recording stuff. I was recording PSAs for them. I actually got on live radio.
Hey.
The first time.
How was it?
Yeah, I had to edit a lot of stuff out. But for the most part, it was good. I mean, I was just announcing music.
Okay.
I think the problem was it's a jazz station, and I was using jazz music.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So you and I have like a lot of similarities. I told you like your Instagram name was my nickname in high school.
Yeah.
Black Ken Doll, whatever. And so when I was in college, I worked at KGRM.
Okay.
91.5 KGRM. And I was the host for the Smooth Jazz and Easy Listening show. That was my intro to radio.
Oh, wow.
I had my little 2-hour show during the day from 1 to 3. Kind of like what we're doing now.
What we're doing now.
Right, what we're doing now. And it was so crazy because I had to change like the mood. I'm usually very like poppy and bright and stuff like that. But for smooth jazz, you have to be very demure and sexy and all this kind of stuff. But I learned so much during that time, not just about music, but also about the production of radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's so many different things that you can implement in your daily life, from being a personality, like understanding your role as a radio personality, utilizing your voice and knowing that everything you say matters. Every word you say is important. That was something that my GM told me, and I've never forgotten it. Every word you say behind this mic has potential to make an impact.
So you had like a mentor at your internship, when you were there.
Well, yeah, Joyce Evans. She was the general manager, and she kind of took all her babies under her wing. And, I thought I was in trouble. I did my first show. Yeah. And she told me that, I speak too fast. I used to talk really, 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 really fast because I felt like you just need to catch up. You're listening too slow. But she was like, you have to respect your listeners. And she said that the first episode. The second episode, she just pulled me in her office. She sat me down. And she said, every word you say is important. And I just looked at her. And she said, now get out. I was like, what the hell is that? But I understood what she meant. And so over time, I started being cognizant of that and what the power of my voice could do. Right. And so, yeah, working in radio is a magical thing.
It's fun.
It is. It very much is.
You get to talk and have your opinions and talk about other people, talk about these celebrities.
Yes, that's a good segue.
It's a good segue, right? Okay. But before we get into hot topics, like I said before, here's a word from our sponsors. Okay, so let's get started with hot topics. Let's talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine. Like, that's just the main thing people was talking about all last week.
Oh my God. I
done seen all these memes.
He's the master of scam.
Oh, okay.
The memes have just taken its own life.
Yes.
The memes are more interesting than the story, actually.
Yeah.
To me. Because I don't care about him snitching on these people.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Tekashi has been charged with violent crimes, like a bunch of shootings, drug distribution, racketeering, and a whole lot of other things. And so a 10-minute audio of Tekashi testifying in court was surfaced on the internet, and he was essentially ratting out his counterparts in crime and his ex-gang member friends, and also just other people he mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Go ahead and name them.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead.
So first of all,
don't be scared now.
No, I'm not scared. I'm just gonna get to it, but I had to make sure I don't have nothing else to say. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Now, mind you, before we get into this, he was given like 40 years,
right,
if he was not going to testify against these people. So let's put a pin on that. But yes, 40 years. Now, he went on into saying that rappers like Jim Jones and Cardi B was a potential blood member. Now, for clarification, because I don't want to get hit with nothing now, Cardi wasn't a part of Tekashi's gang, because some blogs had to clarify that. He just said that she was just a part of a blood, which we all knew. She said that multiple times. Whatever keeps the feds from watching her, I guess, because that was a cover-up job. I'm like, honey, just because you wasn't part of the Trey gang or whatever, don't mean that, What you gotta say about that though?
I ain't got nothing.
You ain't got nothing?
I do, but I'm gonna let you finish before I.
Okay.
Give the people the skeleton, and then we're gonna give some meat and some meat on these bones, because this story is just so.
Okay.
They should have known better.
Right. They should have. And my thing is this: like, I see a lot of people on social media, and I just want to dead this right now. A lot of people on social media are coming after him, calling him a rat and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean he is. But at the end of the day, like, if you was in his position, let's really talk. You get what I'm saying? These people, his friends or whatever allegedly stole money from him, allegedly slept with his girlfriend, bodyguard kidnapped him, had him in the car, stole his money, everything, all because of Tekashi trying to, I guess, separate himself with him. And that's why they kidnapped him. That's that whole thing. So, at this point, I don't owe y'all no type of loyalty at this point. You done kidnapped me. You done stole my money, slept with my girlfriend.
Allegedly.
And now he's ratting you guys out. At the end of the day, I'm putting myself in his shoes. I would do the same shit.
Right. Tekashi is, Daniel Hernandez.
Yeah.
is 23 years old. And for him to be looking at 40 years in prison, he's also a father too. He has a child.
He has a kid.
40 years. He won't be getting out till what? See, that's 63. Ain't no way I'm going to jail for you people. No, seriously. And I think that what people forget is, even in reading some of the testimony about, why he joined or claimed to be part of this gang
for clout,
for as far as to advance his rap career. And I kind of say that, when you look at rap music or you listen to it since the 90s, since gangster rap kind of invaded hip hop and it became a culture to be, hard and to offer street folklore and all this kind of stuff and glorifying this type of lifestyle. These are the rappers that you glorify, the tattoos and I got people that'll kill you and all this kind of stuff. Now, granted, it may be a representation of true life for some of them, but for a lot of them, it's like people forget this is the entertainment business.
Yeah.
And, being in the art of selling the music, selling the brand, selling the lifestyle. For Tekashi, I feel like this was more so about him selling his brand. When he first arrived on the scene with the rainbow hair and the tattoos, everybody was like, this is a joke. Like, this is a clown. Like, I don't know if y'all remember, but we were laughing at Tekashi 6ix9ine, but everybody started playing Gunmo.
Yep.
Gummo or whatever the song was, right? Because he was giving y'all this little Mexican version of DMX yelling everywhere. So that's what y'all bought into.
Right.
And so he had to perpetuate that. He was surrounded by people who were affiliated with that life. And a lot of artists who are in the business, in the music industry, get affiliated because it's an easy way of having protection as opposed to having, Secret Service guards.
You're paying for bodyguards.
Yeah, you got you got the streets, and they'll ride for you, and that's who's bumping your music and promoting for you and things like that. So,
but this stuff doesn't happen.
It's a good look when you're from the hood.
Yeah.
And it's your real life. Like, if that was the route I was taking, I could, call up cousins and things like that.
Right.
And that could be a real thing, as opposed to me like, oh, let me see if I can find people here who are in the game. Can you help me promote my music? Would you protect me? Can you teach me how to throw up all this other stuff where it's for show? So my thing is like, if that's not the lifestyle that you're a part of, if that's not the brand that you really, that particular lifestyle, like it's a hard lesson for him to learn. It was a mistake, but with all the stuff that he's been through or allegedly been through, as far as them, robbing him and kidnapping him, like, fuck those people.
Okay.
Fuck them. Oh, sorry, I said it twice, but no, seriously, I'm not going to trade my life for people who have done me dirty, who I've sworn loyalty to, right?
Okay. Yep.
And because he's an easy target. He's an easy target.
A lot of these celebrities are coming out saying, well, Snoop Dogg and Cardi B came out and was like, well, Cardi B did make a point, though, when she said that if you're not about that street life, you shouldn't be a part of it.
I get it. It's just like, it's like pledging an organization and then getting, being surprised if you get hazed. I
mean, I got what she was saying. I hope she keep that same energy.
What, when the feds come?
Okay.
The feds are coming to take all your plaques.
Right.
No, that's the FCC.
But I hope she keeps that same energy. But that is true. I mean, I feel like if you're not about that life, you shouldn't try to run. You shouldn't try to be up in the street life. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of rappers that don't get into that. And if it's because of bodyguards or protection, I mean, like, you making all this money, are they that expensive?
Yes.
I mean, yes.
To pay somebody to guard your life?
Yes. I mean, they're expensive, but I mean, he got money, though.
Does he?
He did.
Oh, okay. Well.
He did. He had money.
I'm sure he still got it. I'm probably going to go to his lawyers now. But,
yeah, well.
It's just it's an unfortunate situation. I think that, this is entertainment drama that we're watching. I do believe that because he is singing like a canary, it is going to spark a lot of investigations into the rap culture. And, it's going to be good entertainment. He going to drop an album. It's going to go #1.
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
That's a prediction. Listen, the best albums have come from jail. You didn't know that?
So you think he's still going to go to jail?
They don't have nothing but time to tell their story. What is he going to be doing? Getting a degree?
You said getting a degree.
Like, what is he going to be doing? He's going to
He might as well start scratch with something else. I mean, I think he's going to have his fans, but it's not going to be what it used to be.
Why?
Snitched? I mean, there's a lot of rappers that go to jail and they come back.
Who cares?
Okay, but
who cares?
But look at the rappers that did go to jail and then they come back and then, I mean, they doing music, but
like Lil' Kim.
But see, men are different though, right? Male rappers.
I don't know. Male rappers can go to jail and come out, drop an album, and keep on touring.
Right.
I mean, women can too. It's just some people just have it and some people don't.
But I think people really, like, Tekashi kind of irritates a lot of people.
Because he's a clown.
Yeah. That can hinder him.
I'm afraid of clowns.
Because,
oh my gosh.
To be a good artist, to be a successful artist, the general public got to mess with you. They got to rock with you.
No, that's not what it takes to be a good artist.
That's what
it takes to be a popular artist.
To be a popular artist, yes.
You can be a great artist. And
not to be a great artist. Okay, maybe I worded that wrong. But to be a popular artist, yeah, you have the general public has to rock with your shit.
Well, I kind of like his music.
You do?
So whatever he drops, I'm probably going to listen to it and get dressed to it before I go to the club. So there's that. And like I said, I think this is an unfortunate situation. I think that this whole, it's kind of, you know what the real story behind all of this, this rat and snitch stuff being thrown around. I'm watching it come from a community that oftentimes cries that it feels unprotected, right? when situations hit close to home in our community, and I'm talking about black people right now.
Okay.
Or when you are raised in urban areas where there is gang violence, and we're all about that street life until that street life comes to our porch, and it takes our sons and our daughters, because you're all about that until your sister or your cousin gets shot.
Yeah.
And now you want the community to come together, and we need to stop all of this and blah 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 blah, and you want justice for Pookie. You want people to open their mouth and say who killed him. But when the shoe's on the other foot, you're claiming people are snitches, and you putting money on their heads, and you're waiting for them to get killed for opening their mouth and speaking the truth and potentially saving other people from harm. So my thing is, we're either going to hold people accountable for their actions and, always speak truth to light, or y'all should just shut the hell up.
We know they ain't gonna do that. We in that cancel culture, where people on social media talking crap about people. It's I feel like that's what it really is. And it's also trendy to talk crap and make all these memes. Like, the memes are funny.
Oh, the memes are hilarious.
They're hilarious. But, it's a trend. I mean, that's just what it is. Do they really feel like that? So maybe you are correct when you said that when he comes back, people are going to listen to it, and he's going to be successful.
I mean, because you're going to listen, you're going to want to know what he has to say. Mm-hmm. So the streams are going to be there, and the streams are going to be there, which means his money's going to be there, which means he's going to attempt to tour. I don't think it would be safe.
Yeah.
I just think that some places he won't be able to go. But I mean, is this the end of Tekashi 6ix9ine? Probably.
Could
be. I don't foresee that. There may be a lot of artists that won't mess with him anymore.
Yeah. And that's another tack too,
It may hinder some collaborations, but and if they were able to put themselves in the same position, if people were more empathetic, I'm sure a lot of the artists that are out today who are claiming to be about that life are not going to give their life away for these people. Right. They're not, especially the ones that have children. At least I would hope they wouldn't, because if they do, it's really fucking stupid. Oop, that's 3. My bad.
You good. It's a lot. I mean, I don't wish nothing. I don't wish no harm on nobody. You get what I'm saying? I feel like people shouldn't feel that way. Right. At the end of the day, like, this is real lives that we're talking about, and he has a whole child. Mm-hmm. So, I guess.
But he should have thought about that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens. Like I said, he's young, and young people make really stupid decisions, especially when there's a lot of money on the table. Mm-hmm. Like, dang, I got to become a blood so I can get this $1 million check.
And he should have known.
Can y'all jump me in today?
Right.
Like,
he should have known.
I can take an ass whooping for $1 million.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, that's the rationale.
Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is, though, he didn't even know. Like, he should have known that they wasn't with him. They was only with him for the money, because he didn't even get jumped in. Because that's to their knowledge, because a lot of the people that he snitched on, they spoke out, and he was like, he didn't even get jumped in. We was just using him for, like, money and stuff like that. I'm like,
oh, well, speak your truth.
He just seems dumb to me. Like, he seems like you could have avoided this. Mm-hmm. When I started popping, I'd been like, okay, new team.
But that's what he was doing, right? When he trying to get a new team.
That was too late.
Yeah, well.
Too late in the game.
You've seen too much. That's the thing. When you're in it, you in it.
Uh-huh.
And you've seen too much, which means you're a liability, which means there's only one way out.
Mm-hmm. Look, you better move.
Exactly.
You better move to Mexico or something. Shoot. They ain't gonna get in there. What?
That man is gonna have a target on his head for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. His natural life anyway. Just give me the music. I don't care about none of that other foolishness. Y'all brought that. You brought that foolishness on yourself.
Yeah, he did.
You do clown shit, it comes back to bite. It comes
back to, yes.
So sorry. Sorry to this man.
Oh my goodness. No, so many people was using that too with the No, I think Cardi B reposted that video.
Right.
After something came out that he
mentioned, was like, oh, Kiki Palmer, that meme has been giving me life for the past week.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I hate to say it. I don't want to sound ridiculous. I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but I don't know who that man is.
Sorry to this man.
He could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's move on. Oh my goodness, we're at 41 minutes. Yes, that seems really fast.
Don't it?
Yes. So let's talk about Kenya Moore and Marc Daly. They split.
Oh.
Well,
my Nene face.
Oh. Well, you know Nene. I told my best friend about this. I'm like, you know Nene somewhere out there like,
sipping champagne.
She's chuckling. Because Nene petty.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, let's have a function.
Right. Right. For the wives only.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, they starting that. They implementing that new rule now on Real Housewives.
You got to be married.
You got to be married.
Shout out to Nene Leakes, man. I love Nene, by the way. And this ain't about her, but I love Nene Leakes. But anyway, back to Kenya Moore.
Yes, back to Kenya Moore
and Marc Daly.
So it was announced by Kenya that she would be divorcing Marc Daly after 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
how'd you feel about that?
I was blindsided, like, honestly, because I didn't think it was real. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was very apparent that she just eloped with somebody out of nowhere. And you know how extra Kenya is. She would sit there and have a whole parade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would be the wedding. You get what I'm saying? She just eloped. Didn't tell nobody, didn't tell the producers. I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? I mean, sometimes when you get to that certain age and you feel like, you know, you can't find nobody, you just flock to anybody. My best friend said that she married a fan. Anyway, I gave it at least 5 years. I mean, 2 years? I mean, that's quick, right?
So here's the thing.
Okay.
I am a person who kind of watches people's behavior. Mm-hmm. And according to Kenya Moore's behavior that we've been able to see, as she's been on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, is that when she meets somebody that she feels like she can kind of get what she wants out of them, like rather quickly, kind of like, this is what I want, and you're going to be the man and give it to me. I feel like that's how she kind of rushes into relationships.
Right.
Like I had no choice but to like, how did this situation with Walter happen? That was the first boyfriend we got a chance to see her with. Yeah. The one that they accused that she paid to be her boyfriend for the show. And then I was like, okay, well, that didn't work for whatever reason. She seems very like adamant about getting married and having a baby and kind of rush down the aisle and, you know, to the IVF clinic. And that may have been a turnoff for whatever reason. Then I think about Matt. Yeah. Who was the boyfriend before Marc. Yeah. What was his name? Matt Jordan. And something he said on season 9 kind of stuck with me about how she's very manipulative. Like, and I know how she kind of controls her camera time kind of thing, like kind of controlling. She's like the person that wants to control her narrative because she has it in her head already. Like, I want to date, I want to get married, and I want to have a baby. Yeah. And if you're trying to do anything outside of that, we have a problem. Why is it taking so long? Like, she was kind of rushes the process. Yeah. So it's like with the Matt Daly situation, she said Chef Roble introduced them at Marc's restaurant or whatever. And I'm pretty sure she in her head, she was like, okay, this man has his shit together. You know, he's an entrepreneur. He's older. Because Matt was young. Matt was in his 20s. Yeah. It's like he's older. So maybe I can get my ring. I can get my baby. And I can finally be a housewife. Because she's been on the series for, almost 5 years. Going on 6 years. And she has not been a housewife. Yeah.
But they kept her them ratings.
But why? She's not a wife. And that was the only thing that people kept saying, like, why is she here? Like, she's not a wife. But she keeps the drama going. She ain't a wife. How? How is she here?
Well, in Kenya's defense, though, I will say it was kind of messed up how they just like kind of got rid of her.
She got rid of herself.
Well, yeah, she did. She ended up quitting because they gave her something that she didn't. They gave her the pay that she was going to get wasn't what she wanted.
That's what she said. Her husband didn't want to film.
And that too.
Marc didn't want to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
But my thing is, and that's
Marc's thing was, you're our housewife. I'm not a housewife. I don't want to be Peter. I don't want to be
But you married
Apollo.
a reality star.
I married a reality star. I own a business. I don't want to be on TV. Follow her business. You know, if you want to shoot her as a mom, as a baby, I'm at work. He doesn't. That's not... Some people have their boundaries, and you have to respect their boundaries. Like, if I married someone who didn't want to be who had an aversion to being in the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would be my obligation to respect it and be like, okay, listen, I am a public figure. The stuff that I do requires me to engage with the public and to
Yes.
share information about my private life and to be out and to be seen. And, you know, I have to respect that that's not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want me, then that comes with it. But I can't force you to step on that stage with me.
Okay.
Because that's not your thing.
I
Right?
understand that it's not your thing, but like it's the simple fact that it's not like, okay, well, I met you somewhere, you wasn't on reality TV, and then we got married, then this came up, and then you're like, oh, let's do it. No, she was already an established reality TV star.
Mm-hmm.
You came in, you wanted to be with her.
She wanted to be with me. My friend hooked her up with me.
Oh yeah, okay, and then now it's an issue because now he doesn't want to be on the show.
It's always been an issue. I said I didn't want to be on the show.
I
I
understand,
gave you one appearance on the season before
Yeah.
last.
and I think he's gonna. He might.
To satisfy your contract
Mhm.
because you're under contract to share your life. I'm not.
Mm.
That's why Kenya wasn't on the season because she couldn't share anything. They can't film
They can't film.
because Mark doesn't want to film. So if I'm trying to be a wife now,
Mhm.
and this is where I'm spending most of my time, I'm trying to have a baby. I'm older. I got to do IVF, which means there's a lot of bed rest. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that I can't really.
But Kenya can't win because it's like, okay, so when she left the show, that kind of stopped her bag. Because
It didn't have to.
let's be honest, that's the only thing that was
No, let
hitting it with her.
let her tell it. She's a superstar. She's a mega producer.
Oh well, you
She's
know
a
that
fitness guru. She's coined
Hollywood
up.
actress.
She's a Hollywood actress. I ain't seen Kenya Moore in nothing since Will Smith. Was it the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode?
Now, come on, give her credit. She was on Waiting to Excel.
She was.
Yes, for 3 seconds.
Who she played?
She
She was on Martin.
she was on Martin, yeah, but she was also on Waiting to Excel. Her little 3 seconds of fame. She was on there like 3 seconds. She was
In the
playing
beginning?
someone else's girlfriend.
Oh,
In the middle. I never seen that movie, but
you never seen Waiting to Exhale? Oh
No.
my God. As a Whitney fan, my heart just stopped beating.
look. I seen that one part.
You didn't get a chance to witness Bernadette setting on fire to that car.
I seen it in memes.
Jesus fix it. You need to watch Waiting to Exhale this week.
Okay.
That's an assignment.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
I just think that Kenya got what she wanted out this man.
Mm-hmm.
And, unfortunately, she'll be returning back to Real Housewives of Atlanta as a divorcee and a baby mama.
Well,
She's going to be on this 12th season. They've already started taping.
Mm-hmm.
They welcomed her back into the show. And I think from what I was reading, there was an altercation that happened between her and Mark or some kind of argument. And I think that for a man for the past 2 years who has been very adamant about, even from other reports, like Mark doesn't want to
he doesn't want to
camera
be on
because I feel like some people just don't want to share their private life with the public. Like when you're married, some people actually like their marriage to be between the two people and not between me, you, and the world. Because when you invite everybody else and their opinions in, it can change the temperament between me and you. Because now you're listening to what people we don't even know are saying,
Right.
and you're injecting that between us.
But I felt like he kind of well, you're referring to the tea that I was about to spill. So apparently on the show, we're gonna see this. We're gonna see their, I guess their frustrations with each other on the show.
Oh yeah,
because there was an article that talked about how Mark was, I guess, frustrated with Kenya and got into a little bit of argument and told one of the husbands, she's an attention whore, this, that, and the third. She told that to Eva Marcel's husband. Eva Marcel, her husband told Eva. Eva told, well, Marlo actually overheard.
Yikes.
And told the whole group, and then that's how Kenya found out.
Marlo hates Kenya.
Yes. So you know how that is going to start Kenya. You get what I'm saying? It's. I mean, I can't point blame at anybody with this situation because at the end of the day, I'm still going to be like, look, you married a reality star, and as for Kenya, you
knew what you were getting.
You knew what you were getting,
and if you didn't know, you should have been watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess we have to wait to see how it plays out. Apparently, they both made their statements. She said that she would be separating from her husband. No, he said he would be separating from her. She said she would be divorcing him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatever happens, she got her baby and she's going to get her bag.
Yeah.
And
so probably.
I mean, I hope they got, well, if they don't have prenups, I don't know who's gonna be losing out because I don't know if he has more money than her. But
I want to say she probably was the breadwinner though. I think so. I mean, them Bravo checks now.
Okay, all right. I mean, I don't know. I've never gotten a Bravo.
Well,
check.
hers is in the
I
millions.
would love a Bravo check. Hey,
Yes.
Andy, but I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait.
Well, they said Kenya's check was in the millions. Yes,
for this season.
for this season.
Oh, so I know Nene about to be sitting on a big ass.
Oh, Nene got
gold
way more than
throne.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Must be.
she's the
the
highest paid.
queen.
Yeah, highest paid on there. Oh, so you're a Nene fan? Okay, who?
I'm a Nene fan.
You a Nene fan?
Absolutely.
There was some
love her
seasons
growth.
Nene made me upset, like last season. I'm kind of sometimey with Nene.
Okay, so is everybody else.
Okay,
Period.
because she didn't have to act like that on that reunion.
Why she didn't?
Because I mean, she just seemed like she was just copping out of everything. Like at the end of the day, the whole thing with Portia, I felt like Portia was really being her. Portia really was loyal to Nene.
Mm-hmm, she was.
It was just because of some circumstances that had happened that they're not messing with each other and they just go back and forth. Now her with Cynthia Child, I'm like,
So
Cynthia. I don't see. Nah, that's why I don't understand why she's still on here. She doesn't give nothing.
Miss Bailey?
Miss Bailey doesn't give nothing. She doesn't give nothing for the show. No, I'd be bored.
Wow. Okay, so
Oh, you with Cynthia? You like Cynthia?
so here's the thing.
Okay.
With Cynthia Bailey, I always consider her as like a B cast member.
Mm-hmm.
She was like I always saw her as like a friend of the show. I saw her as Nene's like friend and kind of understudy, but she kind of flows.
Who understudy?
She kind of goes and flows, and I was waiting to see her personality pop, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that because she's always been kind of like not ambivalent, but she was the peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was really good to see her in the hot seat for a change, and I got tired of seeing her in her relationship drama with Peter. Like I'm like, this is so sad, because I was rooting for them. I'm always gonna root for Black love.
Yeah.
But I was kind of over it because I really wanted to see her get back with Leon. Like in my head, I was like, hopefully
Yes,
that's
what I
that's
thought
gonna
too.
go.
And I'm like,
But it did happen. So I was over it. I'm like, oh, you know.
yeah.
I like Cynthia for the story, because the show for what she adds to it, and I just think her and Nene's situation is a testament to like what a real friendship sometimes goes through, where it's like, I needed you to have my back when you are friends with people who are friends with your enemies.
Yeah.
That is what your relationship looks like. You know what? I'm not messing with you because you're still messing with this person, and I can't trust you. I can't trust my secrets with you because you may feel more loyal to this person this day, and you're not looking out for me.
Oh.
You're putting me in precarious situations, and not considering me. Now, I do feel like last season Nene was in a very emotional space, and I'm not one to make excuses for anybody.
She was a little extra.
I think everybody has to take ownership for their own actions, but considering everything she was going through, and because I've been in the position of a caretaker, there is an emotional toll that it takes on you because it's so draining. It's very, very draining, and you become super sensitive
Yeah.
to everything. And last year, I feel like we were watching Nene crumble emotionally. Like Nene was hurting. She didn't. She kept saying it the whole season, I just need your support. Like all this other stuff, I don't care. When I need you, I just need you to support me. And she kept yelling it. And some people are like, well, I'm trying to, but sometimes people don't ask, what is the best way for me to support you?
Yeah.
Because I may feel like I'm supporting you, but I'm not. I'm just adding to your stress, or I'm just missing your pain. And Nene was just in a bad place, and she's very stubborn. So on the reunion, it was like, Nene, you're being stubborn.
Yeah.
But eventually, she always comes around. The penny drops with Nene,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm a fan of Nene, because it may happen late, but the penny always drops, and she's like, you know what? Life is short.
And they did kind of piece up. I can see them kind of taking pictures and stuff, and they seem like they pieced it up with this season.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying it's kind of weird with this season. It's going to start off with the Cass versus Nene, but then it's going to get into other things.
Nene has provided a platform for these ladies to make bags together.
Yes, and I do believe that.
So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
whether you like Nene Leakes, Nene, or Lanithia, it doesn't matter, because you have to respect her presence and her platform.
Because if it wasn't for her, there would be
that
no.
she has provided
Yeah.
for those ladies in Atlanta. And I think for her, and being someone in friend circles where you provide opportunities for other people, and those same people make it their business to disrespect you. It's like, wait a minute, I am the hand that's feeding you, so watch your teeth.
But hold on, wait. Some of those cast members didn't know. Now, if we're talking about Sheree and Kim, then okay. But if we're talking about Portia, Kenya, well, hell, even Candy. I mean, at the end of the day, they got hired. They wasn't hired by Nene.
Well, the other people weren't hired by Nene. They were included by Nene, but at the end of the day,
Nene got them together. Nene got Sheree and Kim, and she did get Phaedra.
Shantae, what the other girl's name?
Deshawn.
Phaedra came on as a friend of
a friend of Nene's.
She came on as a friend of Candy's. Remember, Nene didn't know her.
But
remember, I don't know you, Phaedra. Y'all remember that? I remember. Phaedra
but no,
we went to high school.
Well, Phaedra.
Like,
well,
okay,
well, I'm only quoting Phaedra's words. Phaedra was like, "Well, you called me for the show."
Oh, did you?
You didn't see that reunion?
I'm like, wait, what did Nene say that?
Well, Nene denounced it, but
I don't remember that conversation. I don't recall seeing that clip. I don't recall that conversation. I recall that whole season with Nene saying, "I don't remember Phaedra. I don't know. I don't." I was older than her. I was in class with her brother, but Phaedra was friends with someone else on the show.
Was friends with Candy. Yeah.
She was so that's how she got on the show, was that she was friends with someone else, and she knew of Nene because they were from the same hometown.
Okay, you right. I started with season 5, so
I started with season 1.
My memory is a little.
I started with season 1.
Okay,
that's why I love Nene. I love watching her growth, and now I would hope I'd never emulate some of her behaviors once I'm ridiculously wealthy, but. I do think that she is growing, and to watch her grow into that space and to be able to stay as long as she has and to push forward. I think it's noble. And when you have people like Kenya who come into your playground and kind of, I don't know, I saw Kenya as a person that tried to suck up all the air when she came. It was a bit much.
It was like that, and I was a Kenya fan, but for the longest until I think it was the season where Kim Fields was on there. That's when I really started.
You saw her as a bully?
Yes. I was like, what, girl? Now, I done fought you tooth for day. I done fought Portia. I was like, yeah, she need to be fired off that show for dragging you. Well, damn, but did you bully Portia now?
Kenya is very passive aggressive.
Yeah.
And she knows what she's doing. Like, first of all, you wave anything in my face, you ain't got but one time to wave a stick in my face. Cut the cameras now, because I'm going to jail. Period.
Okay.
Because you invaded my personal space. You can, oh my God, you start throwing rocks and hiding your hands.
And she calmed that down.
She was very much victimized white woman with the whole Portia situation. And I didn't like that.
She called the cops on her and everything. I'm like,
I didn't like that. You're not going to be playing in my face. And then when you get what you came here for, you want to scream you're the victim. I can't believe this is black women. We should be blah, 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 blah. That's not what you're doing. Don't do that. But they kept Kenya because she gets good ratings. She makes good TV.
She makes good TV.
So we're going to see how she makes good TV as a single parent.
All right. But that's it for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. T will update you if there's anything else, because there's always stuff like, I think it was a couple of episodes I talked about this. It was a lot of things that came out about certain episodes, like the whole thing with Marlo in some kind of altercation and everything. I'm like, child.
Marlo was in an altercation?
Yeah, child.
Was it over fashion?
You said over fashion.
That's it. That's the only thing we
know.
know.
That time when Eva read the crap out of Marlo in that damn bus.
On that bus? Yes. That was almost as iconic as Claudia Jordan versus Nene.
Oh my goodness.
At that time.
Who you thought won that though?
You know I'm a Nene Links fan. But Claudia
was getting
was reading for I was like, oh no, Sharkeisha, no.
You start coming for her edges. I'm like, ooh, girl, no.
Yeah, I died a little bit. I was like, Nene, please. But then when she said your clit has left your body, I was like,
oh, done.
That's it. That's it. That's the book, and we moving.
And that's when Claudia started being annoying, because she just kept it going. Like, yeah, it's like
I still never knew what her storyline was.
I
didn't.
She was Kenya's friend. Kenya needed a friend because everybody was after Kenya. Well, not everybody. Candy didn't really give a crap about her. Portia didn't like her. Phaedra didn't like her. Nene didn't like her. Kenya needed someone that was going to
support
bat for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's what Claudia was.
Oh, okay. Where's she now?
She doing what we doing.
Oh, okay. Well, so the next topic.
Okay, let's talk about Fantasia. So, Fantasia got on the Breakfast Club, to talk about some things. And one thing that was highly talked about on social media was her comments about submission in relationships. And she feels that all women rather should submit to their man. They shouldn't be the head of the household. And that's why you guys are single. That's basically, I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she was saying on there.
Uh-huh.
Social media was lighting the fire under her ass because they're like, girl, you tried it. Everybody relationship, and this is what I said too, because I post something on there. I'm like, everybody relationship is different at the end of the day. You know, I had a principal in my old high school that was a principal, and she had a stay-at-home husband. It can be done. So don't sit there and say, oh, well, that's why you single, because you're not being submissive enough or in this, that. And she tried to explain that on Instagram, her and her husband or whatever, tried to explain on Instagram. It just looked very like, when a girl, or not a girl, when a person is so independent or whatever, then they finally get that little touch of relationship.
You said a touch of relationship?
A touch of a relationship. And then they want to act all, well, you got to act like this if you want a man.
Right.
Girl, bye.
So, you say you don't agree with her?
I don't, no.
Okay, so because context matters, right? So let's think about who Fantasia is, her upbringing, where she's from. She's from North Carolina. She was raised, I think, in the Baptist church, or she's a daughter of faith, and she was raised to believe that there's an order, right? There's a familial order. The man is the head; he is under God, and wives are to submit to their husbands because they are to be taking direction from God, and they are the protection. They're the roof that covers the family, as the wife covers the children. And so her statement to me did not surprise me. It is also a sentiment that I was raised to believe, even though I was raised in the Catholic Church. There was a familial order. Now, as it relates to the world we live in and the society that we're a part of, families take on many different types of structures. There are people who are being raised by their grandmothers, aunts and single fathers and things like that. So we understand that there are different types of families. But when she spoke about wives submitting to their husbands, it's not about women being single because they don't know how to submit. What she was saying is, because I didn't take it as a dig at women being single. I took it as a dig at men who are looking for women to submit to them, or who have that expectation that women should be submissive to them. You need to make sure that you're doing what you need to do so that she feels free enough to do that.
Okay.
Because if you're not creating a space for a woman to feel safe and comfortable that you can handle things, why would they submit to you? Why?
That is true.
Why would they? And even I'm not one for heteronormative behavior being injected into to homosexual or other spaces, but it's the same thing with any relationship, whether it's two women in a relationship together or two men. When you all decide to become a team, everybody has a role to play, right? And those roles should be very clear because you are a team. Yeah, you're not going to be on a football team, and you got two people thinking they're the head quarterback, calling the plays. Don't work like that. That's not how the team is structured. Okay, I'm gonna throw this ball. I need somebody to catch it and run in the end zone. I can't just throw it to myself, throw it in the air. It doesn't work that way when you're on a team. And I think that for her team, this is what works. And she's saying that, listen, we have all these women out here who, because of this generational curse of men being removed from the home, us not having a real interaction with or representation of what it looks like to have a team, seeing a husband and a wife work together as a team. We don't really have a first degree interaction with that. So a lot of people's like, well, shit, you have to do it by yourself. And so there are a lot of girls that grow up really believing that, I know I have to be able to do this by myself. So when you meet someone who can't do it better than you, then why am I submitting to you? I mean, you can't get a job. You can't provide anything.
And she did clarify that. She says she doesn't mean like submitting to the wrong person.
Right. So, I mean, the people that were mad about it will probably still be single. And they may not understand. Right.
Well, damn.
No, I'm just saying, you'll still be single because if that's the type of relationship that you want, if you want that type of partnership, and you're not willing to acknowledge what type of environment has to be enacted for that to take place and be successful, then you're gonna be single.
Well, see, I'm more give and take. I feel like equal. That's the Libra in me.
Well, who says you can't be equal in a relationship and be submissive to your husband? Because because you have to think too.
Mm-hmm.
Now we use this word submissive, and people have this negative connotation about what being submissive means, and because we think about submission versus domination, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm submissive to you, that means you're dominating me. That's not what that means in a loving marriage.
Okay.
In a loving marriage, being submissive means, listen, I recognize that you are the leader. I'm recognizing that you're the leader. I'm trusting you to lead our team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm submitting to what you're saying. It's like when you go to work, ain't but one boss,
Yeah.
right? But that doesn't mean that even if you're a supervisor and you have people underneath you, that doesn't mean that you're not responsible for the day-to-day interactions. But at the end of the day, you still have someone to report to, and you guys are a team, and there's a goal that you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in your role, it's like, listen, you're the visionary. I'm here to support you as long as you take me in the right direction. Because as soon as we start crashing, you're going to hear my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing too with husbands, if you feel like you need to relinquish a little bit so that we can get on the right ship, a smart man knows when to submit to his wife. Because it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street, yeah.
Two heads are always better than one.
But no one's saying that though. No one is saying that what you're saying.
And that's
is
the piece that was missing.
Yeah.
I even heard the response that her husband gave, and I was like, okay, that was good. That was some good golden nuggets right there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at these, and I used to listen to old people. Like I was raised in the country, so I was always around older people, and I used to watch older couples. So my mom and dad were married for like 9 years, but it was on and off, and
Mm-hmm.
they were all in different states, and there was a lot going on. So when I did see couples that were together and they would be together for 50 years, I would ask questions. How have y'all been together for 50 years? Like, that's a long time to be with one person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always wanted to be married for 10 years. In my head, I thought it was like, that's a contract. Let's get married. We're going to do 10 years. And after 10 years, we can negotiate if we want to keep this going, right? But people who've been married for 20, 30 years, you talk to them, and they're like, yeah, we've gone through everything together. It's good. It's the bad. It's the commitment you make to not abandon each other when it gets bad, right? And that's where you test your relationship. And it's a lot of compromise and a lot of co-submission. Yeah. Sometimes the husband can be leading, but and be going in the wrong direction, and the wife got to say, "Hold on, wait," because you're steering this ship right into an iceberg.
So what if you're in a relationship where the husband is not being the good leader? And I just now listened to Fantasia talk about this, so I'm like, well, dang, what should I do? Okay,
well, first of all, before you sign those papers and you stand in front of God and make that commitment to this person, that's what your engagement period is for.
No, I'm talking about you already 10 years in.
10 years in? 10 years in? And you just found out this is the person? First of all,
people change. Hold on.
Yeah, people change. But if you're I'll say this. If you're in a marriage where you are partnered with someone and their behavior starts to decline and not improve, that's when you start questioning the partnership, because you're supposed to enrich me. We're supposed to glow and grow together. And when that doesn't mean we're not going to have bad times.
Right.
But my question would be, well, what can I do to help enrich you? Because if you're the one leading this team and we're all going down on this ship, I, as a co-captain or as the wife part, like, that means I have to step up so that we can get where we're going, because you trust me, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what you married me for. You married me to be your co-pilot, to be like, hey, babe, that's a mountain we about to crash in. So let me just swerve this real quick.
All right.
And get us back where we need to go. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you back this wheel, and I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to rub your back. What else do you need for me to do to support you? Because if we good, we good. Some people aren't equipped to do that. Some people will sit and watch you crash into that mountain and be like, I told you so. Yeah, you told me so, but now look at us. We both on fire.
Yeah, I don't like when people do that. Yeah.
So you say 10 years in. 10 years in, that means you weren't paying attention. You were not attentive to your mate, and you probably shouldn't have been married in the first place. For me personally, I think that marriage is a really, 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 really big deal.
Yeah.
I've always said I never wanted to get divorced unless I get to my 10 year and be like, you know what, this didn't make me better. This didn't make me a better person. Yeah. And I don't feel like this made you better. So maybe we should not do this.
Right.
So which one of us finna die?
Okay. well,
Period, poo.
Period, poo. Okay.
They said to death do us part. That's a vow.
All right.
You said that to God, not me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said.
I think a lot of people give up too. That's another thing.
Yeah, and this generation, we're the microwave generation. We want everything so quick, and so at the first sign of trouble, we run. We can be dating somebody for 3 or 4 months, and as soon as they piss us off, hey, it's a wrap. You in the trash. Just as I thought. Trash. Right. We don't give people a chance to grow.
Well, we got to move on because we are going over, and you done messed up the mic again.
Basically.
All right, so I want to talk about H&M. So once again, H&M is in hot water for a new ad in which a young black girl's hair appears to have barely been styled or not styled at all. If you've seen it, did you see it?
I saw it. I saw the ad, yeah.
Yeah. So people on social media were coming after the retail giant last week, and they made a response. And their response, in quotes, were, "We truly believe that all kids should be allowed to be kids. The school-aged kids models for us come to the photo studio in the afternoon after school. We aim for a natural look which reflects that." So when you look at, because she wasn't the only girl that her hair wasn't done.
Right.
It was supposed to be a photo shoot of children after school, and what kids has their hair the same way that they came to school in.
The ones that are afraid of their parents.
But no, I mean, like, and come on, let's be honest. I mean, we all were kids once. We all was in that elementary school stage. I want to say that's elementary. And, kids will come home, their hair be messed up because they was in gym or we're doing all this extra stuff and their hair gets messed up. A lot of people are saying that, yet again, H&M is being, I guess...
racially insensitive?
Yes.
Okay, so I saw the ad. She looks like the little girls I remember when I was growing up, coming off the school bus after school. I think that for our community, because we have been portrayed a certain way as a standard, I think the expectation is now when you see us in ads and across multimedia platforms, we're expected to be represented in the best light possible.
Okay.
So the outrage from black people came because they were like, they could at least comb this girl's hair, not really understanding the intent of the ad. But when you look at the full ad set and see that, okay, well, all these kids' hairs look a mess. It just so happened that there were other girls there who didn't have the same hair type. So it didn't look as
bad,
dramatic.
Okay, yeah.
You know when a black girl gets her hair done versus when it's not, it's a dramatic difference. Because, and I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but black people are full of magic, Our hair can do numerous things. Like I can have my hair curly today, I can have it straight tomorrow, I can braid, I can do all this wonderful stuff with it. So I think the context of this ad was for them to show raw and authentic. Yeah. It was like when you have a rough girl after school. And so I didn't take offense to it as I did when I saw the coolest monkey in the jungle last year.
You didn't take offense either?
No, I said I didn't take offense to this as I did when I saw the coolest monkey in the jungle.
So you were offended with that?
I did not. I think that was in poor taste. But I also understand that H&M is a German company. Like people forget that it's not an American company. They are a global brand, and not everybody falls under the American scope of racism. So that narrative doesn't fit everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
But you were still offended with it, though.
I was offended by the coolest monkey in the jungle only because the kid was American. His parents are African American. That was the problem. I was like, you were there, and that was an opportunity for you to say, you know what? I don't think this isn't the right shirt.
You gotta blame the parents then
for my child. I mean, if I was there, I'm like, I'm excited for him to have this opportunity to model for you, but I just don't think that this particular shirt is in good taste.
And that's what I got into when I talked about this a long time ago. Had they put the coolest monkey in the jungle shirt on a white kid, it wouldn't have been the issue.
Absolutely not. They call their kids monkeys all the time. What?
What do you mean?
I've seen it. The little monkeys. I mean, it's playful. They're the ones that clown and everything. My nieces and nephew call me Uncle Monkey So I thought it was cute, cute monkey, blah blah. But given context of a black kid in a shirt like that,
Yeah.
Because we do live in a very
sensitive
time in our culture, I think it was just in poor taste for an American black child to be in that particular outfit. But when it comes to this girl and her hair, I'm just like, all right, y'all pay it. Y'all either gonna buy these clothes. Y'all either gonna buy these clothes or y'all not.
They are.
They're trying, right?
Once they have another 70% off,
right? Y'all gonna buy these clothes or y'all not? Y'all gonna buy it. So just stop. I mean, everybody needs to take a step back and let's start focusing our energy on things that really matter. Let's start focusing this energy on our economic power, because you're either gonna buy H&M and put money back in them, or you're not. Or you're gonna say, okay, let's support black brands now because this is pissing me off.
Okay,
like do something that makes sense, right? Like, okay, I'm tired of these ads.
That is true. And another topic that was brought up, like I seen this on a YouTube video. It was like, what if H&M was like, you know what, this is too problematic. We're just not gonna have black models no more. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're driving. You're driving them to do that.
Are we?
Not well. This is the second time the black community has had an issue with H&M.
So,
what you mean though?
H&M had one of the biggest years last year after that controversy. They pulled the ads, they pulled that shirt, but people gonna still shop there.
Yeah.
Controversy sells. See, people underestimate the power of media and business. Just because it's something that gets people emotional or we get offended, like black people still spend their dollar the same. That's the problem. We're still going to spend that dollar outside of our community. We're going to talk and yap, but we're still going to patronize it. Because we still like your clothes. We just didn't like how you portrayed us. Yeah. That's it. Because there are people like, oh, I mean, the girl's head was messed up, but that's a dope ass.
And that's why I say the cancel culture, the whole cancel culture, like, oh, we're canceling this. It doesn't work. Because in a couple weeks, ain't nobody going to talk about it no more, and then people going to still be in H&M.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They'll do another campaign, and it'll be...
all they got to do is a 70% off. They'd be like, oh, okay, hold on, wait.
Right.
I had to pop my tag a little bit because this is an H&M hoodie now.
Okay. I love hoes and money.
But see, I wasn't offended with H&M though. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't offended with H&M with the whole coolest monkey in the jungle, because I did look at it like, okay, this is a big company. This was somebody that made a mistake. I don't agree with what they did. I would have never did that. But you can to blame it on the entire company, and that's another thing.
They just need more black people at the table and in the room to be like, okay, yeah, and maybe this is not a good idea.
Yeah, because that could have been it could have been solved.
No, we're gonna put some pink oil moisturizer on this baby's head. She still can have it, frazzle, but we're gonna moisturize at least something, But other than that, I mean, that's what we're in the outrage era. People gonna be outraged by everything. So you let them be outraged, you let the numbers go up, you let the conversation happen, and then you watch the money pour in. Yeah.
H&M knew. They knew. They was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna explain this to you guys.
Period. Pooh. It's fourth quarter.
Because they're like,
holiday season.
They like, look, we tired of saying sorry. Like, look.
That's it.
Who child?
I mean, if nothing else, like, hey, just make sure your daughter doesn't look like this. If the black hair product businesses were smart, I would use this opportunity to sell all of my products. You don't want your daughter's head to look like this? Then you need to use this.
Okay.
Period.
Whew. All right, let's move on. This is our last topic. We are, Lord, child.
You're going to have a lot of editing to do, my boy.
Yes, okay.
I want the raw one. Let me put the long version.
What?
I'm a musician. Give us the extended version.
TDGS uncensored.
Yes, I want everything.
Okay. All right, so Sandy Hook. Let's talk about that. So they came out with a PSA that kind of... You seen the PSA?
I did.
Yes, and it kind of touched on school shootings. And a lot of parents and a lot of people on social media, like I said, outrage era, are upset about it because they felt like this is exposing this type of nature to our kids. It's not for us. It was too much. I'm kind of confused with that because we're trying to act like this never happened or is not happening. Like,
that's my reaction to the ad.
Nothing.
So maybe it's just me, but the whole, this is too much for our kids to see and blah, blah, blah. I'm just thinking to myself, like, no, this was too much for you. Because your kids have iPhones and iPads and you have no idea what they're seeing. But as soon as you're put in a position where you have to address a reality, this isn't something that's a fantasy. This is something that's really happening.
Okay.
More regularly than it should. Kids are dying in school due to gun violence.
Yeah.
And, there's always going to be a campaign to fix what is broken. That's how our system is designed. If there's an issue that we feel is plaguing our society, there's a door that's been opened that harms a certain population. It is our obligation to address it, to talk about it, to create that conversation, and to, hopefully move towards a space of change. And when I saw that PSA, I was like, okay, this was very creative because I thought I was watching a Target commercial for back to school. And
it got real.
When I started realizing, oh wait, why are they running? Oh, this is that. Okay. And by the end, I was like, oh, I got emotionally kind of like triggered. Like when the girl was in the bathroom with the phone. Yeah. I was like, oh
my goodness.
Because I was like, that is a reality for kids. There are some kids who have lived that story. Like that's their reality. And I'm blessed that I haven't had that experience. But because this is so real to some people, it's a need that needs to be addressed. Like we need gun reform. Like we need gun law reform. Yeah. And we keep pleading for it. The NRA is not moving because, they keep playing this word game about, well, we're protected under the law to have guns. Like we're not saying take all your guns. We're saying make assault rifles harder to get on the street. Yes. Remove them. Make it harder for people who are not mentally competent, make it harder for them to get licenses and access to ammunition and guns. Like that's what we're asking for. We're asking for common sense gun laws to keep our people safe. Yeah. And it is so crazy to me that even after the Sandy Hook situation, Sandy Hook, we've gone this roundabout about gun law reform, but vaping kills 6 people. Somebody got
now Trump trying to ban that,
and now it's getting banned. Period.
I'm like, well, damn.
For what people are doing to themselves. You have people out here with guns killing children. You have people out here with guns shooting up churches, stores, concerts, clubs. Yeah. Domestic terrorism is what it's called. And we still have to have a debate about making it harder for people to get their hands on guns. What you need guns for right now? Because of some fear that the government's going to turn on you and show up at your door. And I mean, now that fear may be real with this president because I mean, this is a very unstable, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm everybody get your guns, but we go through this every election, every new president we get, there is always a fringe that's saying, the war is coming. It's been coming for years. When it gets here, it's going to be here, period. Yeah. But in the meantime, don't engage or don't inflict war upon your people because of this crazy fear that you have against someone else's theory. Yeah. Or what you fear is going to come. Why do you need an automatic assault rifle in the middle of West Bumblefuck?
Man, there's people that be having all type of weaponry for war. I'm like, how the hell?
For what?
I seen somebody with a damn bazooka. I'm not lying.
A bazooka for what?
A bazooka for what?
You're going to be 83 years old before you get a chance to
Grenades,
use that.
Like,
why? For what?
How? My question is how.
And my thing is like, I want you to know that none of those guns is going to help when there's a bomb drop. Ain't none of them going to help.
We all going.
What you going to do with it? Like when the bomb drops, there is no amount of ammunition you're going to be able to use that's going to be able to stop it. So I just feel like it's if you're a collector and things like that, that's fine. But people out here with these live ammunition and just to have these guns. Yeah. Even on Instagram, I see a lot of black youth who are toting guns, blah, blah, blah. And I'm from the South. I've had a gun. I've held a gun before.
Okay.
Probably shot a gun before. I'm probably gonna own and or shoot a gun again because it's my right to have one.
Yeah.
And to protect myself. But I just don't see the need for me to have an AK-47. People don't hate me that much. Okay. I don't have that kind of hate for the world.
People are just into guns. Like my dad bought a lot of guns. So we went to ranges before. I shot before. Yeah, it's okay. You get what I'm saying? It's protection. But at the end of the day, like, what you need all them guns for?
Because people living their life through Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's all.
And another thing that I wanted to talk about, which we did talk about before we started recording, I mean, mental health issues. That is very key when it comes to people that are doing these mass shootings. A lot of people.
That's the first thing we hear when they do it.
Well, I'm just saying it. I'm saying it. I'm not saying it in the sense of, oh my God, he's crazy, so put him in a mental institution. Don't put him in jail, because that's what people use that for. I get that, but I'm using it as a preventative method,
right?
To stop the person before they get to that point. And that's why I like shows like 13 Reasons Why, because it showed that.
Right. So you mean like in school shootings specifically? Because who's responsible?
You can watch some kids and see what's going on.
Right,
with
but
them.
who's responsible for making sure this guy doesn't come in this mall and shoot up everybody? Who's watching him?
So you're talking about we're
talking about
outside
active
of school.
shooters everywhere, but as far as the school is concerned, teachers. First of all, teachers are underpaid. Period. We asking a lot of teachers now. Like, we want you to teach the curriculum. We want you to be emotionally intelligent and aware for a classroom of 30 plus kids that changes every hour and a half. We want you to be security guards. Now they're talking about training you to shoot a weapon so you can have a gun in your class. You're asking a lot of this person who really just wanted to help educate kids. You're asking a lot of them, and you're only paying them peanuts. That's the first thing. The second thing is...
Well, it starts at home.
Yeah. The parents.
Oh, I'm blaming parents too.
Parents are the first line of defense when it comes to your children. I think that we have created a culture where parents are no longer parents. Kids are being raised by electronics. Kids are being raised by each other. And, and it's just... It's sad to see. I hate to see it. And that they said that when I was young about, the television and us being raised by television because our parents were either both parents were working and this was our form of entertainment. But these kids are playing out what they see on TV. Yeah. And what they hear in their music. It's the power
playing
of
on
media,
video games, everything.
Video games. And parents are not as hands-on as they used to be because they don't have the time. Some just don't have the time.
Do they not have the time?
Some
or
don't.
They don't feel like it.
And some aren't equipped to be parents. That's another thing too. Like the role of being a parent, for some isn't as serious. Some people have kids, but they're not parents.
Yes,
if that makes sense. You have children, but you're not a parent because being a parent is a job.
I got some family members that sit there. The kids start crying. You just give them a tablet. They be quiet the rest of the day, not even knowing what they're looking at.
Because it's the pacifier.
You got to stop that.
They're not emotionally intelligent of their children. Because the first thing they do when they go and shoot up these schools is they ask the parents, well, were there any signs at home? Well, I've never seen any signs. Ma'am, go look at your child's room. Okay. Look at this shit on this wall, Sarah. Go look at their laptop. What news are they listening to? What are they posting? What are they into? Do you know your child? Yeah. Some of these parents don't know their children.
Yes, exactly.
You don't know your kids. And I look at how my mom raised me versus how my grandmother interacted with me. And my grandmother's she's my best friend. I love my mom, but my grandmother is my best friend because she was always very in tune with me. Like, she still calls me to check on me. She knows she knows from 1,600 miles away when I'm having a bad day. Right. Like, she can feel something just wasn't right, so I just wanted to call and check on you. Like, I don't know how you knew, but she made it her business to be in tune with me. She knows what I like. She knows how I think. She knows how I move. She knows how I flow through my moods. And that type of attentiveness is something that's lacking.
It is. Yeah. And then you'll hear parents say, oh, well, there's no book on how to be a parent. There's no Google it.
But there are groups. There are people who've been parents before. Yeah. What did your parents do? Where did they fail? I mean, there's no book on how to parent. That's a lie. They got several books. On how to raise children. They have several books.
And if you don't want to read, you can go online.
Go online. There are several resources available. So people, we've got to move out of this false reality and creating these excuses. We're in the information era. There's information on how to do everything. I'm looking up ways to reupholster my ugly ass furniture because there's information available.
Okay.
There's information available to do everything. Everything. You just have to want to find the information. You have to want it. You have to want to be able to find the information. So my challenge to these parents: become seekers. Seek the knowledge.
Yeah.
And learn your kids. And don't be afraid to parent. That's another thing too. The way that the system's designed now, people are so afraid to be parents.
I said, get that while they're young, because I be telling, like, okay, so I be telling my aunt sometimes, I'm like, okay, you're kind of lenient with your young ones, your little, because she has 3, and then she has one that's a middle child, and he's rambunctious. He's a boy. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You better get him now before he gets older,
right?
And then start to be like, well, I ain't. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. I don't know. I just feel like there should be a course for parents. Like, as soon as you know you're pregnant, there should be a mandatory course for that first 3 years of life, because
you want to charge me?
That's the more. So why not? We need a president that makes sure that your insurance is universal.
Okay.
And then
make sure that
right, and make sure it's covered through insurance.
Okay.
Your parenting classes, so that you know that during this developmental time of your child's life, it is very important that you teach them certain lessons, because it builds their character. You help create and build a perception of the world, so they understand how they can move in it. And like some of those behavioral issues that you see, it's because they went unchecked.
Yeah.
As children, so yeah, like I said, the Sandy Hook commercial, it emotionally charged me, which I think that was the intent.
Yeah.
The intent of that commercial was to make it real to you. And if it got you talking about it, it served its purpose.
Like you said, got you talking.
It did its job. So whether you think your kids should see it, did you see it? And how did it make you feel? So if it made you feel a certain way, talk to your congressman. Call him. Write a letter. Because you don't want your child in that position.
Or go ahead and homeschool your child.
Homeschool them. Well, no, they don't have to. Who got time for that? You got to work 2 jobs now to get a living wage in this country. For most people.
If you got the money like that.
Right. So I think that it was a great commercial. Those who say that kids shouldn't be exposed to this, kids shouldn't be exposed to gun violence in school. Yeah. Bump that commercial. They shouldn't be exposed to having to fear for their life, because they're going to see on the news that another school gets shot up. Yeah. And it's going to make them, it's a traumatic experience.
And don't think that they don't know.
When you leave your house, you may or may not come home. Yeah. Because little Timmy may have got picked on yesterday, and we don't know how Timmy's going to come in swinging tomorrow. Right. Right.
All right. Well, that's it for our topics today. Love to have you on as a co-host. That was the chemistry test right there. We have good chemistry, because I know I had some other people on here. Child, I'll just be like, girl.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yes, everything happens for a
reason.
Everything
is aligned. I enjoyed it. And we could keep calc all day. But
all day.
This was good. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure that you play this episode 2-3 times. Give it a stream.
Give us a little subscribe on here. Give me a 5-star rating on iTunes. All that stuff. And until next time, I'm your host, Darren Green, and this is The Darren Green Show, signing out.